There's what we say, and then there's what we don't. And often it's the unspoken that holds the most power. Welcome to the Unspoken Edge, a space where hidden dynamics, quiet tensions, and unacknowledged truths are named, held, and turned into grounded action. I'm Rachel Keck, coach, facilitator, and founder of Mosaic Collaborative. I work with visionary leaders who want growth that's sustainable, relational, and real. Here, we explore what's beneath the surface, the energy under leadership, the patterns, resistance, and the truth shaping how we lead and live. In every episode, we'll name what's missing, hold what's tense, and follow the thread to what's real. Because clarity creates traction. And legacy, it's not just what you leave behind, it's how you lead today. Let's begin. Hello, I am here today with my friend Brad Hill. Brad Hill recently launched The Way Home. Brad, you want to say a couple words about what The Way Home is?
Yeah, I mean, the way home coaching, consulting, immersives, the way I just, one of the biggest questions I get is, what's the difference between a seminar and an immersive? And I say it's a difference between a thermometer and a thermostat. So, like a seminar is at its best a thermometer. Lots of thermometers in the world. I mean, we got lots of people that are thermometers. Yeah, it's 72 degrees in here. Awesome, cool. But a thermostat, I mean, as everybody knows, not only checks the temperature, but it changes the temperature. And I guarantee you, um, immersives change the temperature, not just of your culture as you as a leader, but just of your story. Changes the temperature of your story, changes your story. So, I mean, you know this. I could
I
go into so many details of what that looks like, but it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Like the opportunities I'm getting already, like the conversations I'm having already. Yeah. Um, if you're a leader and you know that there are things in you or in your story that are keeping you and your culture from flourishing, I have an immersive for you.
mm-hmm.
Guarantee you. It's going to require you to do work you probably didn't think you'd have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so cool,
Yeah.
cool,
Well, I will
cool.
say just even the name. Well, I mean you have been hugely impactful in my life, but simply the name that you chose, The Way Home. I know I told you recently the story of just even that concept of like
hmm
trusting that I know my way home and that parts of me know their way home to me, and trusting that in other people that they can find their own way home. I think I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Yeah, that's yeah, and I'd say this too. Like, throw this in there. One of the things I found out for me, like that has helped me personally in that, and I'm finding it's really helpful for human beings and especially leaders, is definitely pay attention to the stuff you have disproportionate cynicism and sarcasm about.
mhm.
Like, if I find like there's something that pops up that I'm like immediately off the charts, cynical and sarcastic about, right? Or like roll my eyes,
It's a
right? Or
neon
whatever.
sign. Bing, bing, bing.
100% that is the cave you fear.
Which is a
And that is it's right there. And I'm like, no, no, no. Like, no, I am not looking at that. Like, if you want to flourish, you're going to get to
yeah.
have to,
Yeah,
you
you
know?
can't look away, which is a beautiful segue into what this podcast is about, really about uncovering those unspoken truths and being willing
Mm,
to bring them to light. So let me ask you the question. What is something unspoken that's been quietly shaping how you lead, decide, connect, make all your decisions in life? Something lately that once acknowledged revealed something deeper, some deeper part of your legacy, of your life.
So I just realized I have not been crystal clear on my flag in the ground values. And I realized that even if I can just frame it from my whole story, because there had been a part of my life where I was sarcastic and cynical about parts of my story.
Mm.
And I mean, honestly, I would say it's like, that's so stupid. Like, how'd you get trapped into that shit? Right? Like, that's so, like, good Lord, man. And it's like, you know what? This has always been true for me. I just didn't explain it clearly. I didn't explain it. I had not gone all the way to the clear deep end. And you're not going to get clarity in the shallow end. Like, you got to get out there where you got to wrestle and struggle, and like there's some big waves, and you lose control at times, and you find clarity, and like what has been the springboard for me in my life recently was getting real clear about what my flag in the ground values are.
Mhm.
And I don't mean like ethereal crap. I mean, like, I want to help people. Cool. Like, that's great. Um, but when I look at it, I'm like, well, this is how I thought I was doing that in this chapter of my, you know what I mean?
So you
I was
thought,
like,
and
this is,
you thought you were clear.
well, and I'm like, okay, so like a part of my story is, is like I went to Bible college. Like, I grew up in a small town in North Louisiana. I was debating, do I want to go into pastoral ministry or do I want to go into sports broadcasting? And yeah, it's funny.
Two different, very,
Yeah, yeah. And
although they're
so I ended
both
up going,
polling place, sort of.
yeah, ended up going to Oklahoma City, and I got my degree in pastoral ministry and minor in Bibles, like Greek, Aramaic, Latin. I can dance. If you want to dance, I can dance. Um, but I realized, I'm like, okay, one of my number one flag in the ground value, okay, is I want my family, and I'm a part of the family. So it's not like I'm sacrificing myself for this. Like, I'm a part of this. I want my family to flourish. I don't want them to just tread water. I don't want them to like that. That means everything, financially, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, all the things. Like, and my kid and my wife. I want us to flourish. And like, just writing that down was so impactful. It's like, okay, this is number one. Number two is I want to help humans and leaders and culture developers that want to flourish, like that want to, and in a holistic way. Like, I want to help people that want to. And I'm looking back and I'm like, that's always been true.
Yeah.
Like, even back here, when I worked at a church for 5 or 6 years and then volunteered after that, that was still true then. Like, that was true then, right? What I thought it looked like then is different than what I think it looks like now, but that's all right. And like, that has been so integratively healing to me, is to say, you know what, like, that was no different back then. Like, what I think that looks like now is different than what I thought it looked like back then. And so, yeah.
Okay, so one of the exercise, so you and I led a nonprofit together.
Hmm.
One of the exercises, and the one that like initially put me on my ass, which is it's so silly, was the A to B, moving from A to
Hmm.
B.
Hmm.
And like you just had to come up with your own way to move from A to B, and I literally could not come up with my own way. I was devastated. Anyways, but what that makes me, I'm curious, like, okay, let's take even a year ago. I am curious about your A to B thinking, okay, I'm clear on my values, to B, where I'm like, where you're like, no, it looks different, it feels different, I am now grounded in these clear values. Like, how would take me through the A to B.
So first of all, the unlock on that exercise is that you can't not do it different. Does that make sense? Like, if you just, because like if you remember this exercise,
I could have
like,
just walked it.
literally
I could have crawled
just
it.
just
I
just
know it was in my
you,
own head.
yes, just
Yes.
you, if you just walk across, being who you are innately is going to be different,
Literally, I could
right?
not do it
That's
by
the unlock.
myself. Yeah.
And like, if you remember, like Paul would, it's like, well, he just walks across. Everybody's like, oh crap, you can't take that away. It's like you got to be different. And
Yeah.
like the Jedi unlock there is
Any.
you can't not be different,
Yeah.
right? As like, and so everybody's got elaborate, and it's all fun, like it's all fun. But like, I actually wasn't clear.
Mm.
That's what I realized is like I wasn't. I just had some like fun, like I value this, I value integrity, I value honesty.
Mm.
Cool. Cool. Like, and I'd even have a phrase of like, live honestly, do the next right thing. That's awesome. That sounds great.
I remember you saying
Um,
that regularly. Yeah.
but that's not super clear. And I mean it in a sense of like, that's not going to be an Uber filter for my life.
Mm.
And I was like, that I want to get really crystal clear on what actually matters to me in this season of my life. And maybe if I do that, if I get real clear on it, maybe I can look back on the other areas of my life and it kind of makes sense and I can give myself grace and just say, you know what, that was true there.
Mm.
And that's true here. But better, you do better, right? And now I know better. Like I know, and I can just say, hey, man, like I mentioned before, I was totally cynical and sarcastic. There's a season of my life where I was cynical and sarcastic about me in a certain chapter and season of my life because the story I told myself was I don't actually think I help people. Like
Mm.
I actually think I might have hurt people from stuff I believed, right? Because I was hurt, right? Because I was hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Like intent and impact, like my intention has always been this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the impact was this, but like my intention has always been this. And so, you know, it's just there's
Mm.
yeah, I was not clear actually. Even if I said I wasn't. Because when you're really, really clear on your values, you're really, really clear on what's for you and what's not for you.
Yeah.
And that's in this chapter of my life. And so yeah.
Do you think though, I'm thinking about I did this thing once. Well, it was part of Sojourners that I went through. And we had this weekend that we did this cosmic walk. So we walked like the evolution of the universe.
Hmm.
And so I'm wondering, were you not clear or just now you have a deeper sense of clarity? Like you were clear for the level you were at in life, and now there's just a deeper level. Or
Maybe.
were
Yeah.
you convincing yourself that you were clear and you really weren't as clear as you could have been?
Yeah, I was clear as I knew how to be.
Yes.
And so yeah, yes. But the uber clarity I've got right now came from just disarray. Like a
Mm,
sense of like I think in the past, like I'd have a season where it's like there's just disarray and I need to like, you know, new thing, new whatever. And I'm like, I've done this cycle, and it feels like there's something deeper. And what am I not willing to look at? What am I maybe afraid to look at? What am I reluctant to like? What's whispering to me that I'm been reluctant to acknowledge? And it was that. And I'm on like some of the text threads I'm on. I'm like, it brought up that conversation. I was like, man, like, if somebody asked me, could I say like definitively, like, man, this is, and not have to Jedi mind trick myself, but like,
yeah.
I know, like, this is actually what I value right now, period. Like, it's not, no question. And by the way, if you got to Jedi mind trick yourself, it
I
ain't it.
love
It
that.
ain't it.
I love
It
when
ain't
you
it.
say that.
Yeah, that
It's
ain't
true.
it.
Such
That's
a
not it.
tell. It's such a
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah. And what I share with people is like, if you that moment when you get by yourself in your car, right? After you've had some whatever you've had, right? And you look in the rearview mirror and you see yourself, that is a moment of truth right then. And if you have to Jedi mind trick yourself in that space, what I tell people is like, there's only so many Jedi mind tricks you got in your hand, man.
Yeah.
Like, Eventually it's going to run out, and it'd
Mm.
just be a lot easier if you got clear on what your values are right now. Because if I got a Jedi mind trick myself to say yes to something that I'm internally, that's it actually. Is like where it leads to is when I'm not clear on what my values are and have uber clarity on that, then I am going to be left to veto someone else's bill for me. And I'm gonna be left to yours.
Mm.
Like I'm gonna be left to whatever your values are.
Yeah.
And but when I'm clear, then I'm like, even really good stuff, like not for me right now.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Well, my good friend Alex calls it selling the lie, which thing that I think about is just the amount of energy that's wasted. That I mean, that's another piece. If I'm selling the lie, if I'm Jedi mind tricking me, I'm wasting energy instead of momentum and clarity, instead of like fulfillment and like expansion. I'm spending all this energy trying to keep something in place.
Yep.
That's not even the
100%.
thing. It's not even the thing.
100%. I remember thinking too towards the end of my time and ultimately our time at the organization nonprofit
Hmm.
we were leading. There was a moment where I remember thinking, I was like, you know what? I could keep doing this and I could like conjure up some vision. Could I like bring it back? Like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I was like, I have done that before in my life.
Mm.
Like I have done that where I'm like, yeah, like and just create this energy and like conjure it up. And it's so exhausting,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, I've done that before, and like I'm not gonna do that this time.
Mm.
Like I'm going to follow what I know internally is calling me. And I'm gonna do that. And and the way that I knew that this was different was, yeah, I mean, at the beginning of every year, like I wait for a phrase, I wait for whatever, right? And when it hits, I know it, right? But I was telling a couple of really good friends, it's like the phrase for me this year related to the way home and a lot of other stuff was, it's time.
Mm. That's
And
juicy.
it wasn't like, it's time, like let's go, let's go, let's go, which would be, I
Here.
like I'll do
Yeah.
it. Jedi mind trick myself. Yeah, like it's time. Come
I'm
on,
cheerleading
it's time.
myself to this.
Hey, come on, everybody, it's time. It's time. Yeah, everybody's like, it's time. It's like, no, it was very calm and it was very clear. It's time.
Grounded.
And and I was like, this is different. This is different. And it's not like reactive and it's not over the top. It's just very grounded, like wisdom, eldery, like,
Yeah.
okay. And and it's not like let's do all the shit, let's blah blah blah, let's go
Yeah.
frantic. Frantic is like, no, 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 it's time.
Yeah.
And I'm clear on values and like how I've kind of put together this chapter of my life, like that this happened and this happened from values. And I was like, all right, it's time.
Yeah.
And resisted other people's schedules and cadence for what they've done in their life and
Yeah.
how they've done it and what they like resisted all of that. And feedback's great. Like feedback's great, but there's a moment in my experience where I'm not looking for feedback, like I'm looking for somebody to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like there's like feedback and then there's a lack of courage to own my story, right? And so when I'm looking for feedback from everybody, it's like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I'm like,
You're lost it.
uh,
It's
yeah,
like
what do
pros
you,
and cons list. When people are like, "I've done a pros and cons list," I'm like, "Okay, you're Jedi mind. A pros and cons list is Jedi mind tricking yourself."
agreed. I totally
Like
agree.
if you have to go to that route, like, okay, something is off.
Yeah, you're probably not going to do it.
Not a good idea.
I mean, what do you know that you know that you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you absolutely have clarity on internally? Like, what do you know that you know that you know? And it's not
Okay,
like I gotta, anyway.
here's a question.
Hmm.
Because I think sometimes we can hear that stuff in ourselves, but pulling it out of ourselves. Like, I'm just thinking back to when we were like, you were talking about when you knew I'm not doing this pattern anymore. It was
Hmm.
pattern recognition, and you were like, I'm taking a different route.
Hmm.
I think sometimes we get stuck in like, okay, we see it, but then like bringing it from like the inside of us out into like form.
Hmm.
Tell me
Right.
that, like, how did you take it from like, okay, I'm not doing this fucking thing anymore,
Hmm.
like bringing it into like physical is sometimes the hardest thing.
Well, I would just say, like, for me, when I got really crystal clear on values, like non-negotiable flag in the ground, like there's uber clarity, it's amazing how easy decisions got.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's amazing. And by the way, if you say you have values and your decisions aren't getting clear, you don't have values,
That's right.
right? Like you didn't get clear enough on them. Like things have gotten really clear.
Yeah.
And the cadence of that, I mean, I knew what I wanted. Like I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted 2 years before I stepped away from our connection. I knew what I wanted,
Yeah.
right? I just didn't know if I could get what I wanted. Or I didn't know really what it was, is I didn't know if I wanted to pursue what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I'm like, now that I'm clear on like this is number one value, this is number two value, right? That's clear. Well, can I do this in the way that I'm envisioned? Can I do this? And um,
Mm.
yeah,
It
yeah,
when
yeah. And
you
it's,
yeah,
I mean,
when you
practically, what does this look like? Okay. So practically, what's this look like is, okay, can I get a job that I don't, that whole like, quit everything, burn all the ships and go all in, and it's going to be super, super stressful. And you're going to work about 150 hours a week for 2 years. That is not aligning with helping my family flourish.
yeah.
That's easy. Nope. Not doing that. So I thought it's like, can I actually get a job where I'm working like 25, 30 hours a week and getting paid X? Is that possible? I had no idea. I was like, I don't know. Is that possible? I've not been in this arena. And turns out, yeah. And turns out I'm like actually pretty good at sales stuff, which of course that's why I was a pastor.
Yeah.
Pastors are, pastors are salesmen.
The ultimate sales job.
Yeah. Pastors are salesmen. Theologians actually know their shit. Right. I was like, okay. And again, I'm not poo-pooing that at all.
Yeah. There's
The
value.
thing, yeah, absolutely. The thing I realize is like, okay, but I have to really believe in what I'm selling. Do I, is what I'm selling genuinely going to help people flourish? And if it won't, I'll probably tell them not to do it, even if you're paying me to tell them to do it. Um, and so yeah, I did. Like I was like, wow. I mean, that practically, I literally posted on LinkedIn. It's like, hey, I'm wide open. Like I'll take anybody want to interview me. I'm open. And I literally went on 33 different interviews. And I was like, cool, this is fun. Like I've never done this before. True free agent. And I'm going to interview, like you're going to interview me and I'm going to interview you. And you know what I'd say too, Rachel, is like what was surprisingly refreshing was getting in an arena that was totally foreign to me. Like doing something that was like totally different. Nobody knew me that I knew, right? And like I'm sure people search me and all that jazz after the fact, but like I didn't get that job because of any baton pass or this person. Like it's just like, wow, I'm really curious about this. They really think I could be good at this. I have no clue what this is like. And let's see. Let's see. And and so it's been fun. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. But what it did is like check this definitely checks box number one. Like this is totally aligned with number one value. So I get to be present for my kid. We get to take fun trips. Like Reagan and I get to take fun trips together. Um, financially we're in a, a significantly better place. And all the things. And so I was like, okay, but also what it does is it gives me the bandwidth to do number two. And number two is all about creating this business. Don't want to run a nonprofit, this business that helps people and businesses and leaders that want to flourish. That's it. That's what that is. And so, yeah.
I think one of the things that you mentioned grace earlier, which I think is really important. I mean, some of these concepts that are so like abstract and a little hard to hold on to. But one of the things that I keep thinking about, even when you said you went on 33 interviews, is just trust. Like once you got clear on those two values, you then had to try. I mean, you then had to you then had to trust that, you know, I mean, for me, after interview number 5, I would have been like, okay, I'm on the wrong track. Wrong track. I mean, just in closing, like like what has that journey of trust been for you with those? Because you had to just let it go. You had to let it go. You said you had to say, these are my, how the things will show up to support these values now that I'm clear on them. But you had to keep trusting that that was true.
You know what I think when you say that, like I've thought about this recently, is in a conversation with some other people. This is something that's always been true for me, and I don't know why. Like it's just always been easy for me, is I don't have a problem leaving one season when I know it's time to go to another one and just like whatever that means,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I'm just like, okay, cool.
Moving on.
You
Yeah.
know, like I don't, does that make sense? Like once I decide like, okay, I'm done, right? Like I don't feel any like attachment, you know what I mean? Like I don't, and maybe some of that's good, maybe some of that's not good. Like I'm just like, okay. And then I find myself like, I'm like really excited about this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's never been in my whole life. And maybe that's because, um, like I think back on like my junior year of high school, okay? Like I remember I was one of the few people that were actually talking about going out of state to college, right? I think I was the only person. And I was like, I ain't staying here. Like, and you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
just knew, and and that was like not a conversation I was having with anybody else,
Yeah.
right? I was like, well, I ain't gonna be here. And somehow I just knew that. Like I had that clarity. And my whole senior year of high school was awesome because I knew I wasn't gonna be here
Excited
long.
about the next.
Yeah, I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And like graduation was like, cool. I'm and that was sad. I mean, I was sad. Like I remember, you know, when mom drove, and I remember driving and leaving Oak Grove, Louisiana in our white Taurus, and I cried for like 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
remember that. But I cried and there was no part of like, now turn it around, you know? I was like, this is just a part of it. Like this is a part of it. And same thing, like, and there's like, you know, yeah, there's inevitable disruption. Like it's going to take me a couple weeks to like get recalibrated. I know 2 people here in Oklahoma City. And so, okay, cool. And then moving to Kansas City, same thing. It's like, all right. Like, and it's just like for whatever reason, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, that's always been like that's not an issue for me. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, next. I mean, like once I get clarity that this is done for me, I'm like, cool. Like I'm really like, okay, like if I'll, you know, make sure we land as many planes as we can well here.
Yeah.
But really I'm like, let's go here. And I'm interested in what's next.
Yeah.
And and
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I think there are people like, I mean, probably those of us that are a little bit more like escapee. The beauty in that is that we're always willing to go to we get excited about the next thing. Where not
yeah,
everybody's like that, but
yeah,
oh my God,
yep.
this conversation, I love talking to you.
I love talking to you.
So good. Thank you so much. Anything in closing, how can people find you and what you're doing?
Well, we have a LinkedIn page now. The Way Home Coaching Consulting Immersives. We have a Facebook page now. Same thing. Look me up on those two paths. Um, You're going to see a lot more content coming from us already doing. So, for what it's worth, you're welcome to reach out to me. I mean, through message, either of those platforms, you could text me, call me, and working on a new podcast. I did the Dotcast for I don't know how like a long time. And same thing. I was like, cool. I was like, it's time for something new. And so definitely working on a new podcast as well. There's a ton of content, but look, if you find yourself in a space with the people that you get to serve and the spaces that you get to serve and you're stuck and you feel like you've reached the limit or lid on what you can do, but you know that what your experience is not flourishing, guarantee you I can get you there. Guarantee you. And it's highly improbable you've done some of the work that I'm talking about. That's the thing. It's amazing to me right now is like the conversations I'm having, Rachel, and you know this is like, I'm like, people don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know, like when I talk about the dirty dozen ways to avoid losing, I'm like, wow, it's like first time they've ever heard of it. And
It's so impactful. It's so impactful.
yeah, so it's exciting. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So, yep.
All right. I love you.
Yep. Love you too. See ya.
Our guests bring such clarity and depth. If you want to explore more of their work, you'll find links in the show notes. And thank you, listener, for joining me on The Unspoken Edge, the place where we name what's missing so you can lead from what matters. If something resonated with you today, share this episode with a friend or a colleague. Leave a review or subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you're navigating unseen tensions in your leadership or culture, let's connect. You'll find me at mosaiccollaborative.com because legacy isn't a final chapter. It's what you live into, one conversation at a time.